Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Aussie Footy Show. It's SANFL, presented by the BJ Show. We're here for another episode for the SANFL, and we've got so much to cover. We had the SANFLW having their week off because to do with state football as it was against Western Australia. So let's get straight into the women's competition, and I've got to say, I got 3 out of 4 correct. Unbelievable knowing that playing smart. But I may have chosen West Adelaide, but better, and that's the game we start off. So right now we'll do the reviews and thoughts with round 7, and then we're going to restrictions for round 8. We'll then go into the ladder, what's update with that, and then we're getting to the men's all of that. So let's get it on the way with West Adelaide vs Sturt. Well done to Sturt, feeding West Adelaide. Good win, 5-4-34 to 4-3-27. Good accuracy, low scoring. Look over the quarter. Sturt came out really well, and then it was nothing for the second. Nothing for the third. West Adelaide really came back, and it was all Sturt in that quarter, was unfortunately. But good at West Adelaide, never gave up. They 3 goals to 0, and then it was 2 goals to 1. So unfortunately, West Adelaide just could not hold on that win. So heads up, play well next week. We'll share that very shortly. Central District versus South Adelaide, and this was down at the down Elizabeth, where Central District played their game. South Adelaide taking the win. I chose them to win 7-1-43 to 3-7-25. 3-goal victory to South Adelaide. They're in really good form. They're a good team for a reason. They're players for a reason, and they started well, and they just controlled a goal each quarter and averaging up to about 2 to 3 goals a quarter. So it's between 1 to 2 goals a quarter. With Centrals, they did pretty well in that second quarter. I apologise, the third quarter into the last quarter, but they couldn't hold it. But Sturt looked pretty good this season and looked very dangerous. So well done on, I apologise. Once again, well done South Adelaide. Big winners, and Central's good effort. We come to the next game. I expect this was going to be a victory, but unfortunately North Adelaide took the win over Norwood, the runners-up. And big winners last week for Norwood, taking the win, but New North Adelaide going to be in really, decent form from last round and round 6. They got absolute thump. So a big win. They're 21-point winners, 8-3-51 to 4-6-30. North came out so strong, and it was all North Adelaide from the second half. Came 3 goals to 0, and another 2 goals each. So pretty even that last quarter, but a good effort to Norwood. It's not been their season. I think it's going to be a off season for them. They know, but North Adelaide big winners, good response. They're a good team for a reason. Coming in this SANFLW, and all the best for next week. We'll share that very soon. Final game, Glenelg, Woodville West Tynes. Knew there's going to be a win for Woodville West Tynes. I chose them, and they're going to win comfortable. 14 goals, 6-90, 5-5-35. Big winners to Woodville West Tynes, and I knew this is going to be one way. And unfortunately, just overall, Glenelg is just not playing their best football. It's really an off season for them. They're going to be in a rebuilding season, but Woodville West Tynes, they're favourite to win the flag, and I think they're going to do well coming into the season. But they just got winners all over the field at the moment, Woodville, and we'll share the quarter by quarter. They started well, Glenelg, but it was after that 5 goals to 2. It was 1 goal Glenelg in the third quarter, 3 goals straight. Well done. And another 5 goals to 0. So cost them the last quarter. That should be in that game, but they got runners, Woodville. And big winners. And heads up, Glenelg, keep trying your best week in and week out. We come now to next week's round 8, and we start off with Glenelg staying at home. They take on Central District. We have North Adelaide and West Adelaide. Norwood challenge the host, the Woodville West Tynes, and South Adelaide and Sturt Double Blues. So it's some really difficult games to pick. Central's in good form, and I think this is the third home game in a row for Glenelg, and I think all games but one are playing on the 17th of May. The last game is the 18th of May. We'll share very shortly. So here we go. Glenelg Tigers are hosting Central District Bulldogs. I've chosen Central District to defeat it. Glenelg, that's not in their best spirit at the moment. But stay in the quarter, stay in the contest, but you never know. But safe as the Central District. North Adelaide, West Adelaide, these two, West Adelaide are playing some alright football, winning some games, but it's done it. Positive Oval, big win against Nord with West Adelaide getting defeat. And I really think North Adelaide should win this game. And, they'll win. So I chose North Adelaide. Nord and Woodville, West Hinds. I'm really going to have to go with Woodville. But I really like to see Nord go for upset. That they don't lose very much home. They're pretty good last year for a reason to host the grand final. And then they lose. But anyway, getting back to this game, I have chosen Woodville, West Hinds to be defeated. Nord. Why do I choose mine? Team Nord. I think they really are the best team to get high scoring, and Norders have to play their full quarters of football and play smart and result come. But play well, boys. But I think Woodville for me. And this is the game at, it's down to Glenelg. This game is South Adelaide's home game, take on Sturt. And my goodness, this could be anyone's game. This is the game of the round. Save the best for last. But knowing that both teams not big fan of this oval, I'm going to say Sturt for this game. I'm going for upset. They're pretty good travelling for one culture club. They're playing really good, the girls, and they'll take the win. I think just. But if I'm not right, it doesn't matter. Because, but hopefully it'll be a good game. So going through the ladder, after 7 rounds and having that week off, hope everyone played well for the state, and congratulations who got selected and played for this South Australia SANFLW. But we'll share the ladder right now with having 8 teams in the competition. We have Glenelg in 8th place, 7 losses, no wins. Nord and West Adelaide, 2 wins, 5 losses. Central District, Bulldogs, 3 wins, 4 losses. We have Sturt and North Adelaide, 4 wins, 3 losses. We have South Adelaide, 6 wins, 1 loss, and after 7 rounds on top spot, comfortably on with 71.3%. Woodville West Hinds with 7 wins, no draws and no losses. Clear favourite to win the flag. Congratulations on that. So let's now get straight into round 6 of the men's SANFL Host Plus League. And boy, we got some big thumping victories and we got some big upsets as well. And I can't wait to share with you all. So we had 2 games on the Saturday and we include that showdown. We'll share that very soon. And we got 3 games on the Sunday. And what big upsets to say. So let's get straight into it. Boy, some big upsets. So first up, we have in round 6, West Adelaide versus Central District. This was one-way traffic and it was from the ghetto that, yes, West Adelaide actually even up that third quarter to really show they can play at home, but it was the last quarter really was one way, and knowing that Central are going to be a very good team coming into the season, and with Aiden was our SANFL Host Plus ladder, and knowing that this was just a walk in the park, and West Adelaide just, get behind your team at home. This should be a good game to watch, but it was just a very disappointing result and almost embarrassing. You cannot do this at home, but they just don't have players, and that got they play bingo then. They look after, bingo there, and it's great. But fortunately, the final score was 18 goals, 9, 117, 9, 761. Big winners to Central District. They're looking very strong coming into the season. We got the showdown. This game, the first game was 2:30. The second game is 4:05. Adelaide Oval, not going to have a big crowd there, but Adelaide Crows defeated 13-10-88 to 5-13-43. This cost them the game in the second quarter, and I think they panicked a little bit. They totally panicked, and it's a very disappointing day at the office. They haven't had the best to see to play well, and look over their stats. You got your mention of, Travis Broke coming in, Logan Evans from Port Adelaide. You don't use them. enough, and maybe they're not playing in their best performance. But unfortunately, it was just not their day, and it's not their season once again. But it's good to see some of those experience play in that colours. It's really important. But well done to the Crows. Another win on the box. Lockie Shields in really good form. You got Bruce Smith, big drop. You're not playing AFL Showdown, and you got Billy Doing. Bring him in. He's playing some really good footy. Sid Draker got dropped for the Showdown. That's a big out. He if he's not playing well, yeah. You got Chase Jones. A lot of these players will be dropped big time and moving on, and we don't want that. Luke Peckler, he's a motor player. So, I'm not doing best players for the SANFL because it's not really about that. It's how you perform. But, Port Adelaide did lost that second quarter to make it really game on and make a game on, and it was just a very, very nice 45-point victory. We'll share the ladder really soon, and I'll tell you right now, the percentage is just very, very even. But it's a big change in the ladder we'll share very, very soon. So after 6 rounds, we go into Sunday, and I went to this game, and I want to do a audio, and unfortunately there's been some technical difficulties. I made a audio about each quarter and what I think. I'm going to share that right now. So look, the game between South Adelaide and Nord on Mother's Day traditional, and I really got to say, well done to Nord. My goodness, did not see this happen, but it was a win. 5-goal victory. 12-9-81 to 7-9-51. 30-point victory, and I got to say, I'm more than happy to be there. Then the people who do the cheer squad are really fantastic. I'm really touched to be included with this amazing cheer squad. That's my favourite thing, to come to Norwood Oval and actually do the game. And look, it was a slow start, and North did start well. And I'll share, Cal Lau, Newman, just 3 goals each for the game, and Howes for South Adelaide too. So, South Adelaide had their moments, and they have fall behind in that second quarter, cost them really that game to be making into a better contest. But North just, stopped their defence. And a lot of their South goals were actually stopped by their defence. And well done to Norwood for doing that. We got a really good, strong defence, and I'm really happy to share with that. In the third quarter, really won the game, but it was pretty even, 4-3, very even. But South won a couple goals more, so that won the quarter for them. But it was the final quarter. It was 3-3 to 2-1, and we won that quarter. South came, and it was a 3-goal lead, but it was after that, it was just their victory. And I'm really happy to say it was a really beautiful day. A little bit windy, but Nord just really believe each other, they back each other, they really support each other. Yes, that was a bit heated in during that game, but oh boy, the captain for Nord, he also included a goal. Kennelly from the captain for Nord really settled those boys down and just play our game of football, boys. Settle down, break it up, and he did that perfectly, and they did. What a professional athlete can do that. That wins the game of footy, and we did. It was a bit heated at times, but well done. South Adelaide, look, you can't lose at home. It's always a good contest, but a thumping victory. We'll share the ladder very soon. So well done to Nord Redley, taking their first win. Every team has won a game, which is just fantastic. All right. We got maybe the upside of the round with down at Glenelg, and this game was also at 2:30. The first out of 3 Sunday Mother's Day traditional games was at 2:10. That was the South Adelaide and North Redley. Glenelg Tigers take on Woodsville West Tines, 2:30 slot. We have a double header for that. And my goodness, at 4 point, 12-66, 9-8-62. What an absolute beauty. Now, Glenelg cost them the first quarter, 5 behind to 2-1. Then it was 6-1. Then it was 3-2. Then it was the final quarter, a very nervous 4-0. This is the first time for a running 20th to hold on a win. A win. And it cost them Labine dominated for the Tigers and Hayes for the Eagles. So It was a very nervous day, I think, for Glenelg supporters. This is not going to be a good result if he lost at home. Wow, fact that there's a new team in town we'll share very soon, making him out a win. But I gotta say, good effort from Woodville, come down from on the road, and I think there was a very should be in the player game of the round, but it was upset of the round, and very good effort to Woodville. They're one step better to take on this win, but didn't happen. So there you have it. We come to the final game of Mother's Day. And like I said, I would like to check out the Mother's Day message from the BJ show that is already out already. But we do come to the third final game out of 3 traditional Mother's Day clash. We have North Adelaide and Sturt. And I've got to say, this could be a very scary result. But, that was a pretty even quarter, but it was after the quarter time part, the game was one way. Then North Adelaide came hard, really hard, but the last quarter won the game to win 14 goals, 13, 97, 11, 8, 74 for North Adelaide. So before we go to Sturt, look, North Adelaide, they're going to have their losses at home. They're new. They're going to be a fresh team coming in. They've got a good team. Go through the major list. Goal kicker, we got Headley with 3 goals, and Cone with 4 goals for Sturt. So there's multiple goal kickers as well for Sturt and North Adelaide. So sharing the goals is really important, but give them to your lead forwards. But it was just not their day, North Adelaide. And they were in the game. They were going to come hard in that third quarter, and they can do that really well. But Sturt was just one step better. But Sturt, matter win. They want to get their revenge back from disappointing. That they really should have won against Nord, but unfortunately Nord were a bit better. But, it was going to be a really good entertainment. It should be anyone's to win this game, but upset the top of the clash, Sturt, they'll be awesome, and hopefully that will happen sometime soon. But Sturt will just look slightly better. Good effort, North Adelaide. Well done, Sturt, with the game. We come to the ladder. Now, no under 16s and 18s due to, I think, unavailability of playing. My understand. And it was. So they also took off a week off. They will be returning from the 24th of May. So having a couple of weeks off, which is nice for them. But we do come to the ladder. It's the ladder time. And I gotta say, this is a big jump from 10th place. My goodness, this opens up the competition so much. And because of percentage, it's a win for us. So after 6 rounds of football from 10th spot, for not having Nord Red Legs in there, we've changed so much. West Adelaide, 1 win, 5 losses. Port Adelaide, 9th place, 1 win, 5 losses. South Adelaide, 1 win, 5 losses. Their first win of the season. Nord Red Legs, 1 win, 5 losses. So there's 4 teams outside that top 5 could possibly to make finals. Anyone's to make that 5th spot. But we do come into North Adelaide with 2 wins, 4 losses. Changing to the opposite from 2 wins, 4 losses to 4 wins, 2 losses. We have 2 wins. 2 teams in that position, which are Woodville West Torrens and Glenelg Tigers. Then we come with 5 wins and 1 loss. We start with Adelaide Crows and Central District. And I'm still on top place. There's been teams like Adelaide Crows, Glenelg Tigers, they have been the teams that have been top, but continues to win games. Sturt Blues, 6 wins, no losses, no draws. So there you have it. Sturt continues to be top. They were in that top 2 last year, and they continue to go one step better this season, and they really recruit some talent in the off-season. All right, so that's all. That's all for today's episode on the Aussie Footy Show extra episode of the SANFL and SANFLW. We'll get back into that. So well done to all the winners and the ladder, how we recruit. All right, thank you so much. Let's get that goal as I'm going to continue to share with you all. 1 1,000 downloads. We are 28, 972 downloads currently at the moment. Find your episode where you can listen to. Go to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can just type in The BJ Show. People know, or most will know, the ladder, the logo. Also, the Facebook page, The BJ Show Podcast. Like it, much appreciated. And all the latest episodes will be there. And I'll do my best to get all the latest ones as soon as whenever I can get around to it. Not too late, hopefully, this time around. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you all soon. Bye for now.